For example 2, we're going in the opposite direction. We're going to put it into our set builder notation. So, for the first one, I'm going to say it's represented by x, and then my lower point, negative 10, is an open bracket, so I'm going to say is less than x. The upper one, negative 5, has a closed bracket, so it's less than or equal to negative 5, where x, e, r. For my second case, I can say that x, well in this case, doesn't have a lower limit, it's just got to be an upper limit. So x is going to be less than or equal to 3, where x, e, r. And my last one, it does have a lower point of 18, doesn't have an upper point, so x in this case is going to be greater than or equal to 18, where x, e, r. Now, if I am solving an equation and graphing the solution, well, first, when I'm solving the equation, I'm going to solve it just like I would if it was an equal sign. The only thing, remember, if at any point when I'm solving I need to multiply or divide by negative, I'm going to change the direction of the signs. So for the first one, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides and say that negative 2x is less than negative 6. And then when I divide both sides by negative 2, I need to change the direction of the sign and say that x is going to be greater than 3. And then I'm going to draw the solution on a number line. So I'm going to leave it open circle, and I'm going to fill into the right. For the second one, I'm going to move the x's to the left, so I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides and say that negative 3x is less than or equal to, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, negative 1. And when I divide both sides by negative 3, I got to remember to change the direction of the signs again. X is greater than or equal to 1 over 3. And I get my point of 1 over 3. And I'm going to make sure I fill in that circle to show the equals to, and then shade it to the right. When I'm solving example 4, I'm basically doing the same process. I just need to be careful about the steps that I'm taking in order to solve it. So for the first one, I'm going to expand these out. I'm going to say this is going to be 6x minus 3 is less than or equal to 2 plus 2x. I'm going to move the x's to the left, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides and get 4x. I'm going to add the 3 to both sides and get 5. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. X is less than or equal to 5 over 4. And I'm going to put the answer on a number line. Fill my dot, and then shade to the left because it's less than. In the second one, I got to get rid of these fractions. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4 and by 5, or use the common denominator rule. And I'm going to say that I'm going to multiply all of the terms by 20. Now, be careful because I have binomials on the top. So I'm actually going to say that it's going to be 20 bracket x plus 2 over 4 is greater than 20 bracket x minus 1 over 5, and the 1 times 20 is just going to be 20. And now I can divide out. And I'm going to say that this is going to be the same as 20 divided by 4 is 5 bracket x plus 2's. And 20 divided by 5 is going to be 4 bracket x minus 1's plus 20. 5x plus 10 is greater than 4x minus 4 plus 20. And I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides, and I'm just going to be left with x. And I'm going to make sure that I subtract that 10 from both sides. So I have 20 minus 10 is going to be 10, minus another 4, and I'm going to get 6. Which means that when I put this on the number line, and I have my point of 6, I'm going to leave an open bracket, and I'm going to fill to the right. For example, C and D, now I have 3 parts. The only thing I have to be careful of is I need to, whatever the process is that I'm doing, do it to all 3 parts. So if I'm trying to isolate the x, well, first I'm going to take away the negative 1, so I'm going to add 1. But I have to add it to the inequality part on the left and on the right, because it's split into 3 sections in between the inequality symbols. So now I'm going to get negative 2 is greater than or equal to 2x, which is greater than 2. When I divide by 2, I got to divide all 3 parts by 2. And negative 1 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 1. And then I can put this on a number line. I got the point of negative 1, I have a point of positive 1. Oh, sorry, this one should not be an equal to. I'm going to have a closed bracket on the left, but I'm going to have an open one on the right, and then I'm going to shade in between. For example D, I'm going to do the same process. When I subtract the 2, I'm going to subtract it from all 3 parts and say that 5 is less than or equal to negative x, which is less than or equal to 7. Sorry, just less than 7. And then when I divide by negative 1, remember that's going to change the direction of my signs. So negative 5 is greater than or equal to x, which is greater than negative 7. And then I can put this on a number line. Well, negative 7 is my lower value. Negative 5 is my higher value. 7 does not include the equal to, but 5 does include the equal to, and I shade in between. And that's it.